This is your Barbados Today morning news update for Friday, September the 21st. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Thanks for joining us. Topping the news at this hour, Prime Minister Mottley is being petitioned to ease the financial fallout which well over 1,000 pensioners will suffer as a result of government swapping their old treasury bills and debentures for new ones. The central bank on Wednesday announced a comprehensive debt restructuring program which included drastically cutting those pensioners' interest rates and forcing them to wait way longer to be paid their principals. Chairman of the Barbados Association of Retired Persons, Ed Bushell, told Barbados Today he had already sent off a letter to Mottley asking for an opportunity to discuss a possible increase in the interest rate and shortening the maturity period of the investments.
The pensioners who have bonds will not be affected. It is pensioners who got other forms of government payable, like treasury notes and debentures. So they will be seriously affected, obviously, because they're going to be going from getting average of 7% interest to 1%, and as well as, of course, their principal will not be repaid over a long period of time, rather than normal 5 or so years. This will be over 11 years.
Meanwhile, the leader of the economics fraternity has warned that the alternative to government's debt restructuring plan would be more painful and socially disruptive. President of the Barbados Economic Society, Shane Lowe, has told Barbados Today that government could have avoided restructuring its massive debt of 175% of gross domestic product with higher taxes and spending cuts, which is usually understood to mean sending home workers.
Could there have been another way? Like I said, the alternative was to make further adjustments on the taxes and the expenditures. That would have avoided having to restructure the debt, but of course the magnitude of those adjustments might have had significant effects on economic growth and also on the social fabric. And so there needed to be a delicate balance between the two.
The organization representing men in Barbados has taken a cabinet minister to task over remarks he made in the House of Assembly last week, Tuesday, referring to men as sperm donors. While making his contribution to the debate on legislation to abolish the mandatory death sentence, Minister in the Ministry of Housing, Lands and Rural Development Charles Griffith said too many Barbadian youngsters are ending up in the law courts charged with murder and other criminal offenses because their fathers donate sperm but refuse to man up afterwards. But the comment has infuriated the Men's Educational Support Association, MISA, which described it as a loose and loaded statement which cries out for any scientific evidence. And outgoing president of the Congress of Trade Unions and Staff Associations of Barbados, Cedric Murrell, says while he has no regrets, he has had a few disappointments during his 8 years at the helm.
Comrades, I would mention but one, and that is the withdrawal of support of the Congress by the Barbados Workers Union, the organization that it midwifed into the Barbadian world of work. It is my hope that now that the Congress has come of age, now that it has demonstrated to all and sundry its maturity and independence of thought, that other decisions will be made to ensure that there is a united labor movement in Barbados.
Murrell was addressing the biennial delegates conference of the umbrella trade union body yesterday for the final time as leader.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
Welcome back with news from the region. Now, there's a grave concern among health officials in Jamaica at a rising spate of kidney-related illnesses across the country every year. TVJ's Kirk Wright has the details.
The increasing number of persons being diagnosed with kidney-related illnesses annually has been a serious concern for local health practitioners. Dr. Robert Clark, president of Help Jamaica Medical Mission, says he has seen more than a fair amount of persons with the condition at their recent island-wide healthcare outreach program. He says the disease is being seen more frequently, especially in young people. While the disease may be hereditary, Dr. Clark says in most cases, kidney failure is linked to person's lifestyle.
And on the global front, a lawyer for the woman accusing Brett Kavanaugh, President Donald Trump's U.S. Supreme Court nominee, of sexual assault, told a Senate panel on Thursday the professor will not testify on Monday as Republicans want, but would be willing to appear sometime next week if certain terms are met. Christine Blasey Ford, a psychology professor at Palo Alto University in California, has been given until today by the Republican-led Judiciary Committee to decide whether to testify at a high-stakes hearing it has scheduled for Monday.
We believe Christine Ford. We believe Anita Hill.
As protesters flooded the halls on Capitol Hill to show their support for Christine Blasey Ford, her lawyer told a Senate committee that Dr. Ford would be prepared to testify about allegations against Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh next week if the terms are fair and her safety is ensured. Republican Judiciary Chairman Chuck Grassley had set a deadline of Friday morning for her to respond to an invitation to testify before the Senate on Monday, where Kavanaugh would also testify, an act some Democrats saw as strong-arming.
The option is show up Monday or don't show up at all. I consider that to be bullying.
But Monday is not possible, her lawyer said, though they could continue to hammer out the terms.
And that's news. But for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook. And sign up for breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We are also on Izumi Media in-bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. Now, you can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic day.